All right, now here's another example of what I'm saying. I mean, people say, Jose, how can you be cruel? I'm not cruel. First of all, I never killed anybody. I never robbed from anybody. I never molested any child. I made some mistakes. I will admit to that. I'm not proud of them at all. People say, well, you should be proud of your mistakes. Nah, not really. You should learn from your mistakes to make sure not to do it ever again. But these anti-gay activists they don't seem to do that. They are prone to a lot of issues. I mean, they say that gay people are pedophiles. Please, that is all projection. That is projection. Because they know what their side is about. I mean, look at the Boy Scouts, full of pedophiles. They don't want gays in there. They're anti-gay. Why? It's because and here's my point of view, they don't want openly gay men in there because an openly gay person is very dangerous to what they're doing. The Boy Scouts of America is run by pedophiles, and I know that for a fact. Pedophilia runs amok whenever there are authoritative fascist men and high positions of power of either over children, a vulnerable flock, or a vulnerable community. And these people are very authoritative, very zealous. And that's why we have with this guy here. Now, here's another article. Anti-gay activist confesses to molesting children for 25 years. There you go. And they're telling us that we gay people are, we're the ones that are molesting children at more higher rates than they are. Well, that's not really true. Look at the news articles. Now, I bet you that there are some gay men who molest children. I bet you that they are. I bet you that they are. But the difference is that being gay is not a religion. It's not an organization type thing. It's not like a church where everybody thinks the same, although they're trying to do that to the community. So that way, whenever one person does something stupid, they can blame it on everybody in the community. That's why I don't believe that we should all look the same, do the same, and be under one organism. Although we function like that, and that's fine, but we cannot, how can I put this? We cannot be a religion. I mean, just look at it that way. We cannot be a church. We cannot be saying the same things and regurgitating the same talking points, because then we have groupthink, and that groupthink can lead to a lot of disastrous things. Just like what happened to the Boy Scouts, the Salvation Army full of pedophiles, and you have, of course, the Catholic Church infamously filled with pedophiles, and then you're going to have, of course, many of these little, like the boy, what's it called? The Girls and Boys Club. All those little youth organizations filled with pedophiles. Pedophiles go where the kids are. That's where they go. Most pedophiles are actually a little bit smarter than the stupid ones like this guy, this anti-gay activist, and they would actually just try to molest people that they know. Either a relative or a friend of a relative or a, a child that they know. I mean, that's what happens. But then you have Caleb Hesse, 52, is a well-known anti-gay activist, says the article, and a former elementary school teacher. He has been charged with 4 lewd acts on a child. The investigation is in its early stages, and incidents of abuse going back to 1997 have been reported. But that is by no means a cutoff point for Hesse's abusive history, and authorities are encouraging anyone with knowledge of past abuses to please contact them. Some of Hesse's victims may now be 40-plus years old. The former youth group volunteer confessed to police that he had, quote, inappropriate contact, really, with children over the last 3 decades, with the most recent sexual abuse happening in the last week. I bet you there are hundreds of kids that this guy really fucked up. I bet you there are hundreds of kids that this stupid, not stupid, he's not really that stupid, but he got away with it for many years, but he is a monster. He's evil. Right? Oh no, but he wasn't a good cause. He was to protect children from those evil homosexuals. When there are these institutions and these groups and these think tanks, whatever you want to call them, these institutions, places where they say we are for the children, we are going to protect the children from those ugly homosexuals. You bet your ass that's where all the pedophiles are going to swarm to, because if such organization filled with anti-gay activists are all about focusing on us homosexuals, on us homos, and telling us that we're the pedophiles, all the pedophiles are going to go to them and molest their kids, because we are the distraction. And to some point, I think that pedophiles are the ones who are accusing us homos of being the pedophiles, so that way they can distract the parents, focus their attention on us and not on them, and they can, go in for the kill. Go in and rape a child. Go in and shove your cock inside of a little boy's anus. That's what you want to do, and that's what you're going to do, and then you accomplish that. These people are sick and perverted. Yes, I do agree with that. They have issues. That's why they're anti-gay. You're anti-gay because you have issues. If you're anti, all this, you have issues. Because you're trying to project your self-hatred. And this guy hates himself. Look at this. Look at his mugshot. I mean, he's totally somebody that is depraved. And when you are somebody that is setting morals for everybody else, who's setting your morals? Nobody. Because you're now placing yourself in the place of God. You're our God now. I mean, that's what these evangelicals all think. They are God, and God hates America. They speak for God, and in some way they're God themselves. That's what they won't tell you that, but that's how they feel. And then, of course, they believe that God's going to destroy America. That's what they believe. This whole theology, evangelical, Family Research Council theology, which comes from Dixiecrat ideology, born out of Scottish Freemasonry. You're going to have this. You're going to have this anti-American, antagonistic viewpoint in which America is bad, America is evil, it's degenerated, it's filled with homosexuals and sodomites and all this, and that's what they think. But people like this pedophile knows that that's bullshit, right? And they're playing the system. They're milking their own institutions that they create because they want what they need, and that is to rape a child. It's like a vampire that needs to suck on somebody's blood in order to live. Pedophiles are vampires who need to rape a child in order to live. These people are dangerous, obviously. Dangerous. And what is even more dangerous is you're going to have more of these right-wing reactionaries saying, the real pedophiles are the homosexuals. That kind of mentality is saying that we are not the pedophiles. It's the homosexuals. We are clean. And when pedophiles are aware of that, where do they go? They go to the clean part. They go to those clean people because they're not going to suspect that the clean ones are the pedophiles. So if I become one of them, because that's what pedophiles tried to do in the 80s to the gay rights movement. They try to infiltrate. Pedophiles are so sneaky. I mean, pedophiles will go anywhere. But because pedophiles have this neurosis, and they're basically mentally unstable, they'll pass off as anybody. And they try to infiltrate the gay rights movement. It's a little bit hard because gay people, some of us are a little bit open about what happens. We're not in a religion like the Vatican where everything remains secretive and it's esoteric. The good thing about the gay community is that when something bad happens, we are going to yell and we're going to scream and we're going to point it out and we're going to say this is not right, just like what we did with the lesbian that fabricated her hate crime story. Okay, that was a false flag stage event, And we finally said, hey, that was staged, it was all faked, and it's wrong. We will call you out on that, those of us who are good. But the gay rights movement was almost hijacked by pedophiles. I will admit to that. In the 70s and the 80s, it was almost hijacked. You had NAMBLA trying to hijack it. You have all these other people, trying to do weird shit, trying to get near to the kids. And we have gay kids, and we have to protect our gay kids, because we cannot afford to have gay kids being molested and being abused. Hello, wake up, smell coffee. But the thing is that when the lesbians finally stood up, I mean, that's what happened. The lesbians and the P-flag people, the P-flag parents, they stood up and they ratted everybody out. Everybody was taken out of their positions of power. Really, me, there were pedophiles in high positions within the gay community. Took them all out. Out they went. Some of them went to jail. Some of them went to the state penitentiary. We don't care. We want them out of the community, and they're out. There's still a few there that are lingering. Okay? But when you have something like the Vatican, or like a church, or like an evangelical church where everything is secretive, and I was a Jehovah's Witness, and in the Jehovah's Witness religion, pedophiles are everywhere in that religion, because everything is secretive, it's esoteric. Nobody knows what's going on. When nobody knows what's going on, you cannot rid yourself of the pedophile parasites. But what's going on with the anti-gay movement is, I believe, and I really have the evidence for it, is that the anti-gay movement is run by pedophiles. Boy Scouts is run by pedophiles. Salvation Army is run by pedophiles, because in the Salvation Army you're able to have a contact with poor children, and poor children have no ways or means to actually, or guts to call out the pedophilia. You have, these anti-gay pedophiles running these pro-gay, pro-traditional marriage organizations. Why? Because that's where their kids are. You have people who are concerned about children, and you're a nice guy. You might even be married to a person of the opposite sex. You may even have kids yourself. But you want to really, you don't want to fuck your own kids, but you're going to fuck other people's kids. And that's what you're going to do. You're going to join these organizations. You're going to go up the ladder of power. And you're going to have power over these people. And you're going to have access to their children. That's what pedophiles do. And that's what they're doing today in the anti-gay movement. The anti-gay movement is run by pedophiles. That's what's going on. Pedophiles don't care if it's pro-gay, anti-gay. They'll move where the kids are. And these anti-gay rank-and-file parents, these stupid, useful idiots, don't even give a shit about their kids. They only care about is having one over the homosexuals. That's what they care about. Many of the abuses took place at summer camps hosted by the Evangelical Free Church of Yucca Valley, where Hesse was an active participant and supervisor since the early 1980s. It has been locally reported by KSEQ that Hesse is currently being held on $2.5 million bail at Morongo Basin Jail, and I hope he gets raped. I hope they rape the shit out of him. I met a gang member who was my lover for a few months, but he used to be in jail, and he told me stories of what they do to pedophiles in jail. Do you know what they do to pedophiles in jail? They'll kill you, they'll rape you, they'll tear your guts out, they'll tear your eyeballs out. I mean, believe me, the horror stories that I've been told, it just makes me shiver. And he's going to have not only his day in court, but his day and real justice in the jail system, because many prisoners don't tolerate pedophiles. One thing I really enjoy about prisoners and convicts, even though they might be thieves, murderers and all that, they don't stand children being abused. That's a good thing. Hesse's church, the Evangelical Free Church of Yucca Valley, is incredibly homophobic. Duh. and requires members to actively disavow the homosexual lifestyle if they wish to remain members. Homosexual activity is taboo, and the bylines of the church say that they recognize people do have homosexual feelings, but members are expected to not acknowledge or act on them. The church lays out specific guidelines, including that if one is a known homosexual, they must prove that they lived a godly life for a minimum of 5 years. How this criteria is determined for or verified has not been detailed. Oh yeah, they could have those anal examinations, a rectum examination to see if he's never been laid for 5 years. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Alright, Brother Mike, time for your rectal examination to make sure you're not no longer in the homosexual lifestyle. Brother Mike! Oh no, here comes Bishop Salvatore. Drunk driving again. How are you, Bishop? Oh, there he goes! You anti-gay people are pathetic.